Welcome back to Philosophy of the Barber. Welcome back, Cassie.
Hello, hello.
This week's episode, we are discussing pets in the barbershop.
Yes. Furry friends.
Yes, so I'd first kind of like to wonder, what is your experience ever going to an establishment that has a shop pet before being part of the industry?
Yeah, actually the very first barbershop that I went to when I shaved my head bald and started getting skin fades and stuff, has a shop dog. And I didn't even know that was a thing. And I was immediately excited. Of course, I just got to sit while I was waiting for my haircut. I got to hang out with the dog. So like I was in heaven. To me, that's almost like an added bonus.
Right.
To the service is getting to hang out with the dog for a little bit before your haircut.
I find the presence of an animal, the presence of an animal is very reassuring. It's like, all right, cool. Even if we can't, as humans, be able to like hold a conversation, the dog is the buffer.
Yeah. Definitely a buffer.
If I'm not talking, it's because I'm paying attention to the dog. It's not because I'm not like wanting to converse with you. It's just that the dog needs the attention. I didn't really have any experience with shop pets, though when I moved to New Hampshire, I went to this like post office store sort of thing, and they had a little dog. I was like, oh, that's cool, because I don't recall Ohio having that at all.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I think I went somewhere where somebody had like a shop bird, not like a barbershop bird, but like some people just had pets in their stores.
Yeah.
As long as, it's not, you're not preparing food.
Yeah, like it's super common down south for like at the Tractor Supplies for there to be like a dog chilling behind the desk with the person or whatever, or a cat roaming around the store.
Well, and here in New Hampshire, like, they seem to be, generally speaking, very dog-friendly.
Yeah.
In general. Like, even Lowe's, though the corporate policy is posted that service dogs only, but realistically, the local Lowe's does not care.
Nope.
As long as your dog is cool and isn't peeing on everything.
Yeah.
You can bring your dog in. Nobody cares.
Oh, yeah. Willis and I have gone in plenty of times to the home improvement stores.
But, I mean, I've always had a shop dog, with an exception of 1 year of time.
Yeah.
Because I had my little, like, 6-pound toy fox terrier that came with me from Arizona. She was more of a seasonal dog because she didn't really do winter.
Oh, okay.
She was more of a cat. I mean, she's 6 pounds. She's like the size of a squirrel here.
Yeah. Not much to work with.
So, like, she was trained for pee pads and such in the wintertime, and I would not have that in the shop. So, she just chilled at home, and there was enough exercise for her in the apartment. So, but like during nice months, she was in the shop, and she, being a very one owner personality, I had some customers, and it's kind of adorable. Some customers really, really wanted her approval.
Yeah.
And so there were these the waiting chairs at our first location were old theater chairs, and a couple of them would not automatically pop back up anymore. Oh, okay, yeah. So there were two on the end, and if you were sitting in the very end one that was nearest to the door, that had a very large glass front, and then the main front window. Well, Chloe was my first dog. She could hop onto the chair beside that end chair because it stayed down on her own. And then she would make herself at home on whoever's lap happened to be in that chair. Now, if you sat in a totally different chair down the line, she would pay you no mind. But if you happen to be sitting in that seat, you are a lap, usually with arms attached to you, to give for pets.
Yeah.
And then she can come and go as she pleases, because she can get on and off that.
Yeah, okay.
And she can see out the window.
Yep, it's
she
like
was
the bonus chair, yeah.
In heaven. Boom, done. Mom can't give me attention, I will take you.
Yep. I love some of your clients would just need her approval.
Oh my goodness, like, when they happened to be in that chair and she got under their lap, they're like, oh, she likes me.
She did it.
I was like, nope.
It's The chair.
Yeah, it's not you. Sorry.
It's the spot you sat in. Sit there next time. She'll do it again.
And even some of the like biggest, burliest, most hardy men would totally do me a solid and take her for a walk to do her business. Yes. This is like a little cow-looking 6-pound thing, and this 6'4" fireman of a man is just walking her around.
Oh, I love that. Great visuals.
Yes. So after she passed, I had a solid year, almost to the day, of not having a dog.
Oh, okay.
And then came Harvey.
And now did he come, into the shop right away?
Yes. Got him when he was 4 months old. He was raised in the shop. Which is why he likes girls more than men. Which you wouldn't think so intuitively when it comes to a barbershop, but because of the people that worked there and who gave him attention when he was a puppy, he's like, oh, well, the girls give me attention and love and treats and all the things. And the guys that worked in the shop ignored him. Basically pretended he didn't exist.
Yeah, not dog people.
Who doesn't love a corgi?
I know.
The internet is in love with corgis, especially as puppies.
Oh my god.
The sploot is unmatched.
They're just adorable ass dogs. It's I usually wasn't a little dog fan, but corgis will always still be a great little dog, even if you're not a little dog person.
Well, it's not even a little dog. It's a medium dog with little legs.
Fair.
That's it. He's a solid 35-pound dog. That is a medium dog.
Yeah. Just imagine if he was taller.
Right. Well, that's the thing.
Yeah. Huh. I think it's great to be able to have, I'm really hoping Willis does continue to get more comfortable in this space.
Let's introduce Willis.
I was going to say, let me introduce Willis. Willis is my Staffy Pitty. I've had him in my life for about a year, but in the last 3 weeks, he's been living with me full-time consistently. And so I'd brought him to the shop previous times before just to get him the experience. But lately, I'm trying to more so because I'd like him to be a part of the shop, a part of the atmosphere, part of the face of the business and stuff. People love dogs, you know what I mean? A couple people have intentionally walked in my shop because they've seen the picture of Willis outside and wanted to come in, either ask about him or just then realized I'm a barbershop and ask about a haircut. But yeah, so we're trying to get Willis used to being here. He's a little bit vocal right now. He gets real excited meeting everybody, so we're trying to get that toned down, but I just love being able to have him here and just the comfort I have from having a dog in general and him being able to be in my space just helps my space feel more like home to me. And I like the homey comfort that comes with a pet.
Well, I think in general, when there is specifically a dog in the environment, I think typically it automatically makes it more friendly.
Agreed.
Because you're going to have somebody who will automatically give you positive, loving attention. With, no expectation.
None.
Other than pets.
Easy enough.
So it's the even worst case scenario. There is one entity here that accepts me.
Yep.
Obviously, so in the state of New Hampshire, there are laws that govern what we can and cannot do with pets in the shop. Specifically for shop dogs, they must be posted so that anybody with a phobia or an allergy is aware before they enter the establishment that there is a dog present, specifically what breed, the name of the dog, and a picture of the dog. So that way those bases are covered as far as that.
Yep.
And also, that does act as a good selling point for attracting people because
it does.
So many people at the old location when Harvey was there would come in just to be like, oh, there's a corgi here.
I'm pretty sure people think your current barbershop is just a dog place.
Right, because I don't have anything that shows that I am a barbershop on my side.
Yes. Very incognito.
Yes.
But the picture of Harvey is still there.
It is there.
So it is the most peeked at thing on her windows because that's the only identifying marker to this place, aside from the your little sticker.
There is an identifying marker.
You do have a logo.
Yes.
But a color-coded picture of Harvey is way more attention-grabbing.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So what are some of the reactions that you have had from customers having Willis on your side?
Most people respond very well to Willis. I am, for a little bit more backstory, since I'm getting Willis adjusted at the shop, and he is a little bit more vocal, being excited with things, I'm very selective on who I have in my book for the afternoon. So that way, if it's like I've got a bunch of kids in my afternoon, or someone that I know has an issue with dogs, so I do have a couple clients that have bad history with dogs, so I would never have them in this environment like that. And so I'm very particular about who I have him engage with for now, so that way I'm not rubbing anybody the wrong way. I'm not giving them a bad impression of my business, because he's a 70-pound pit bull. People can be deterred from that fact alone. And so I try to be very active, forward thinking with it, and very conscious in thought about what I'm doing when it comes to Willis being here. But with that, those that have gotten to meet him love having him here. Even with him being a little loud sometimes, they get it. They understand a dog's going to do dog stuff, dogs bark. And so when I have all those interactions, honestly, I've not had, besides the one time your client was trying to come in my side, I've not had a negative reaction to Willis, which has been very reassuring in me being able to bring him here. I feel more comfortable getting all the positive feedback and stuff about it. Because I'm not trying to make anybody uncomfortable, and if that's the case, then he won't come here. That's fine. I can work my life around that. But if he can be here, that'd be great.
I've taken a little bit sterner of an approach when it comes to my dogs in the shop. Mm-hmm. But that's because, I make sure that my dogs have been acclimated, so that it's their behavior is boom, it's nothing, not a big deal.
Yeah.
Harvey's vocal.
Yes. Yeah.
You're gonna have a vocal for any herding breed. Mm-hmm. But because the state has already implemented our requirement to post their presence, mm-hmm. I've done my part to let people know that he's here.
Yeah.
If they have a problem after that, that is their problem. Mm-hmm. Now, this is something that I know limits my clientele, mm-hmm. but that is a choice that I have made,
yeah,
and am willing to defend.
Yeah.
And go, look, if you can't handle a fluffy, adorable, smiling, vocal corgi, mm-hmm. then this isn't the shop for you.
Yeah. Fair.
Fair and square. If you can't handle my dog, mm-hmm. you can't handle me.
Mm-hmm.
Because if that's going to bother you, there's going to be a lot of other things in the shop that'll bother you.
Yeah. I can definitely get that.
And I have had instances in the past where, not a customer, but, someone who came in with a customer, mm-hmm. Having a fear of dogs. And it's why are you here then?
You're not even a part of the service.
If you don't like dogs, there's a dog present. He works here.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
You don't. You're mm-hmm. not even paying to be here. Why are you here? Mm-hmm. If you are afraid of being in the presence of a dog, why did you come in?
Yeah.
Though in the instance I will remove the dog from the situation, I will then defend their right to be there, because guess what? They work here.
Yeah.
You should not be here if that's the case. Mm-hmm. That's why there's a sign. Mm-hmm. So that can certainly put me in the witch with a capital B category in some people's eyes. So be it.
Yeah.
I'm willing to wear that badge with pride, but that is my boy-o.
Yeah.
And I'm a good dog parent. I make sure that he does what he needs to do. Mm-hmm. He's not gonna come up and bite you. He's not gonna
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe if he likes you, he'll jump up in your lap. But for the most part, he's just let me sniff you.
Yeah.
Let me lick your shoes, maybe.
Yeah. Let me smell your feet.
Yeah. That's it. And then, and he, of course, has been positively reinforced to love when people come in. Because he will immediately do what he needs to do and go to his crate so that he can get a treat. Because he's like, there's a new person here.
He knows that it's time.
Yep.
I can definitely appreciate that stance. I feel like if I had a better grasp on Willis, then I would have a better stance with that.
Well, and there's a clear difference between Willis being a rescue dog that you're still getting to know and like figure out what his parameters are, and like me having Harvey from 4 months old.
Raised in a shop.
Yeah. Very different situations.
Yeah.
But also from a business standpoint, we're very different situations. Like I have gotten to the point where I can and will stand my ground and limit my clientele as necessary.
Yep.
Whereas you're trying to build, so you need raw material before you can carve out your ideal situation.
Yes. We need to just keep adding to. We don't need to take anything away from.
Right. You can take away later.
Yes.
Get things first, then you can carve.
Like, I was very grateful today. I had 2 walk-ins this afternoon while I had Willis here, and that's a rare occasion. So I got to see how brand new people that have never been to my shop don't really know what to expect here. Luckily, one of the people was reading the Willis sign right before he came in, so he was very aware of what he was about to meet. But having those both be positive interactions was really exciting this afternoon.
Nice.
Yeah. They all ended up loving him, and we're glad that he was here.
And a wide range of ages.
Yeah. Yep.
Unfortunately, you do have to deal with a little bit of prejudice when it comes to the breed.
Yes, also that, which is really unfortunate. And what's also unfortunate is that people correlate barking to anger or aggression, like the dog's unhappy, because that's where I feel like a lot of the misconceived comes in. Like when people say to Willis, don't worry, be nice, it's okay. I'm like, he's not being mean. Like, this isn't him being mean. This is just him being excited, being loud. He barks at me. Like, when I get home, he barks at me. It becomes very high-pitched because he's very excited to see me. But, like, it's not in a bad way. He's not, like, about to attack you because he's barking.
Well, he's not in a defensive posture.
Yeah.
Like, he's not backing up.
Yeah. He's got the biggest smile on his face and his tail is wagging. I think we're good. But I almost get a little annoyed with the prejudice just in the circumstance of the barking, because people will look at Willis like he's this untrained, aggressive dog, but yet little dogs aren't viewed in that same category of aggression when they also bark. I'm like, they're all just vocal. They're just chatty. Some of them, yes, mild-mannered, tempered, sure, absolutely. But just the size doesn't matter that doesn't determine what the bark is and what the bark means. They're just all the same.
If anything, I knew a Chihuahua that was far more aggressive.
Yes.
Well, it was a Chihuahua Poodle mix.
I got bit in the butt by a pug.
By a pug?
It was some weird little pug mix. It had to jump up to bite my butt cheek and ripped a chunk out of it. I've got a scar. There are 3 whole scars on my butt cheek from where...
How old were you when this happened?
Oh, dude, that was only like 3 years ago.
What?
Yes, I was a full-grown adult when that happened. He made me bleed through my shorts. It was rough, dude. No pun intended. I had cheek meat hanging off of me, dude. Crazy little pug.
Well, don't blame it on the pug. You said it was a mix. Blame it on the mix.
Listen, I was ganged up on in that circumstance. My friend opened the door to her house. She was renting a room from this woman who had dogs. A large lab mix and a small pug mix. I'd met them once before and everything was fine. Well, this time, friend opens the door. The large lab is very excited to see me, but jumps up to say hi to me. Happens to double paw me right to the crotch. So I'm just like kind of shocked and like keeled over a little bit for a second. All the while, the little one has snuck out from behind that one, made it around me, and almost simultaneously is biting my butt cheek and shoving me into the door and the dog in front of me. It happened so fast that I freaked out. And then I ran inside and my butt's just bleeding. It happened so fast, I didn't even register that I got bit in the butt. Like, I just got shoved forward by my butt. It was wild. Have you ever had, well, I mean, besides the co-client or whatever, do you ever really get any kind of negative reactions to Harv?
Not really, no. Most people are just really excited to meet a corgi.
Fair. One in real life.
Right.
A real life one.
And aside from, it's funny people's reactions to dogs' behavior of like, because he is trained to do a very quick greet and immediately go to his crate to receive a treat when someone comes in. And I did that so that he does not try and leave the shop when the door opens.
Yeah, fair.
Like, that's why he darts immediately to his crate, is because it's all right, you get away from the door. Because if he were to see a dog outside, that would overcome most training for him. Because he's really excited to meet dogs and to play with them. So, but not all dog owners love being approached by a dog off leash. Fair, I get it.
Yep.
Understood.
We wouldn't in turn.
Right.
Not like that.
So I try to avoid that as much as possible with doors that push out. So that's why it goes immediately to his crate. Some people will take that as like him not being interested in saying hi to them.
Yes.
It's like,
I see that's most people's reaction to him doing that.
Yes. That's them like, oh, did you
right.
not want to say hi to me? It's like,
right, just kidding.
He just really cares about beef liver.
Yeah.
Like, don't take it personally. He just like is very food motivated.
He's ready for step 2.
Yeah.
Step 2 is the treat. That's the part he wants.
Yes.
The most.
Like, if for a while when he was a puppy, we would go through his like training routine and we'd do like the same things over and over. And he got to the point at one where he would just like quickly do every trick to hurry up and get to the treat. So I had to start changing him up.
Put him in a different order.
Yes. So he's like, whatever we can do to get to the treat,
Yep.
I'm gonna do.
Just get me there.
And then once he gets the treat, he'll come out and actually do like
An interaction.
a longer sniff session, or get pets or whatever. But for the most part, he's not one to really want to get a ton of pets from just anybody. If there's clients that have established a relationship with him like that,
Yeah.
he is super excited to see them. Like, if you're willing to get down on all fours and like play with him, greet him, let him sniff around you and do all sorts of stuff, he is all about that. Most people don't do that though.
Yeah, they're not.
I do
getting
have
down
some.
that far.
But other ones, if you bring him a treat once, he will remember and expect it every time in the future. It doesn't matter if you've only been here once. He will remember 6 months ago you brought him something in your pocket, and he is going to search your pockets.
I tell you what, my favorite thing is now that I get to see Harvey say hi to people from my side when he's at the gate. It is the cutest thing with him up on his hind legs, almost like clapping his front paws together. It's so stinking adorable. And it's almost every time someone approaches that gate, like intentionally to say hello to him, and he like, the way he like...
Oh, the wiggle butt.
The way he wiggles and like lowers down is almost to like amp himself up to stretch really high is probably the cutest angle I've ever seen him at.
It's kind of a wind-up toy sort of a thing.
Yes, yeah, very much like that. Very much. That's exactly it.
Well, because he's all about the attention. He's like, oh, human, you saw me.
Yep.
You acknowledge my existence. Even when like a random person, when we're out for a walk, if they speak to me, he's like, oh, sweet, they can see me.
I will say one of the things that's more difficult with the Willis adjustment is the couple times he's scared some people outside that were just walking past. Because like it only stings a little bit for me because now their first impression of my barbershop is associated to fear.
Yeah.
And so those ones tinge a little bit. But it's very bittersweet because I'm the one inside dealing with the barking. But when people are walking by and he starts barking and they pause for a second because they're excited to see him through the window and are like waving. And I'm like, this is great. I'm glad you're happy to see him, but it's really loud in here with that mouth. Like, you don't need to amp him up. I promise. He'll keep barking when you're gone. Don't worry.
I feel like we need to get some things on your walls to help dampen that reverberation.
Yeah, good idea. Because it's so... I do need some things.
Maybe you could make a macrame or something.
Yeah, I can make a macrame. Bet you I can.
I bet you can too. I've seen what you can do with a crochet hook. I can only imagine if everything's bigger.
Fair. Ooh, I never looked at it like that. But yeah, my end goal eventually for Willis is to be able to have a dog bed in the window on the display thing and him just be able to chill there and relax. But we'll see. Right now it's curtains closed as much as possible so you can see as little of the outside to be stimulated by while hair services are being done.
Yeah, I don't necessarily see
you never
him
know.
unless he's like medicated. I don't see him being.
He does like hemp treats.
It's not the same. Harvey gets to the point where it's more like a relinquishing of the possibility of him getting attention from anyone that causes him to just lay down. He's like, well, no more attention over here. Let me just lay over here in this corner or in the middle of the floor or underneath our feet or on the couch or on the chair.
Oh.
Literally anywhere.
Willis underneath my feet. I love it. I really don't mind it. I don't mind having, like, I will step around him because if he's chilling, I'm cool with that. So I'll step around him. But I really cannot stand how much hair he's starting to eat on accident from just getting his toy rolled in. Oh my gosh. I just don't want to clean up more. He threw up the one hairball and I just don't want to do that again.
Oh, yes. That's why Harvey has a crate here, is because he threw up one hairball and I was like, oh, and we are getting you a crate today for the shop.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea to do that as well for my side for Willis. So he just has his own, like a home base.
So, I'd say, yeah, there are pros and cons to having dogs in the shop. I'd say overall, net positive.
Yes.
It's
agreed.
just, from a case to case basis, like if somebody's sensitive to sound and you have a vocal dog, take that into account when looking at your schedule.
Yep.
But that's always going to be, like if you choose to have a pet in the shop, that's going to be a factor if you're taking walk-ins.
Yes. Yep. And I mean, the most you can do is just communicate the fact that your pet even exists in the shop. That's the biggest thing, because then nobody can be surprised by it.
Right.
I've got Willis, one, because of state regulations, we have to have the signs outside the window. But, like, I also have Willis on my website, so that there's a picture of him there. It mentions him being vocal. It kind of warns of all the things. Granted, is everyone looking at my About page on my website? No, but the information's there. I tried. I've tried to let everybody know. That's the best I can do, and hopefully they like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's no different than, like, finding your hours or your prices.
Yep.
It's like, the information's there if you bother to look.
Mm-hmm.
We're not trying to hide anything.
Nope. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for you to figure out everything you could possibly want to know.
Without having to call us.
Yeah. Yeah. Which did not work today because a woman called me to ask me. Well, it was more so, I think, because she wanted to know if it would be cheaper because he's got not a lot of hair.
I hate that question.
How much are haircuts when he doesn't have that much hair? The same price as a haircut, $30.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
We don't charge by the ounce.
Mm-mm. If hair is being cut, it's a haircut.
Yep.
And that price is $30.
Because I wasn't offered a license that was cheaper because I wasn't going to cut as much hair.
Yeah. Fair.
They don't offer a part-time license.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Same price.
And I'm pretty sure most of the time, even if you don't have a full head of hair, I'm still touching your whole head. 9 times out of 10, my tool is touching every part of that head somewhere.
Well, and you also need to have as much attention to detail with those people because the difference of, like, missing one hair matters a lot.
A lot.
So, yeah.
Especially When there's usually less on top, there's usually one stray one that comes out of the forehead.
Somewhere.
Gotta keep out for.
One person or one last holdout behind enemy lines. I will say that that is one thing I like about Harvey is that he has adopted opinions. Like Harvey really doesn't like people talking on the phone.
Oh my god, so fair. He really does not like
He
that.
does not.
He barks all the time on the phone.
Yes.
Oh, that's so true. I never even correlated it to the rule at the previous shop. Love that. Willis thinks that I'm talking to somebody anytime I say hello, that somebody's in the room. So, like, if I call my mom or my mom calls me and I say hello, Willis will start barking like somebody's in the house. I'm like, no, Willis, I'm on the phone. It's fine. I'm not talking to anybody.
Well, so Harvey's justification, as far as I've been able to tell, since he doesn't speak, is that, the same thing with, like, my cell phone, my husband's phone, like, shop phone. He associates a loud ringer type of a sound and us saying hello with there is a person that I cannot see and I want their attention.
Yes. Somebody has to know that I'm here.
Yes. Well, and like, hey, you can't have an interaction with a human if I'm around and I can't have an interaction with them.
Yeah. I mean, fair.
Like,
Doesn't seem fair.
it's like, show yourself.
Show yourself when you're talking to me.
So I get it. It's fine. But it's great for my personal stance on really not ever wanting to answer the phone.
But I would be curious to know if there's, like, people that bring other kinds of pets.
I don't think the
Can
barber
you?
board allows for any other pet. Like, they specifically approve dogs.
Oh. So I couldn't bring, like, a bearded dragon?
I don't know if you couldn't.
I don't want to. I don't have one, to be clear.
I don't know. I mean, there's nothing barring you from having fish. So, I mean, if it's in a similar enclosure, I don't see why you couldn't. I don't know about cats, though. I'd have to look up the statute.
Interesting. I mean, kind of makes sense. No offense to cat people.
Like, because the posting is specifically a barber board rule that came from a shop in Manchester. The guy who had a white shepherd, and that was, like, something he pushed for. Because Manchester, one-man show,
Yeah.
his shepherd was his protection.
Yeah.
They made a cool poster about it and everything. But they're just like, there are other stores that are not governed by the barber board, obviously,
Yeah.
that have had birds, cats, whatever. So, I mean, as far as New Hampshire cares, any non-barber or cosmetology or aesthetics related professions are cool with having them. As long as you don't serve or prepare food.
Oh, yeah, fair.
I'm curious on different states' views on dogs in the barbershop or and pets in shops.
I did. There's a salon that I've gone to a couple times down in Nashua that have big dogs there, a couple of them.
Yeah?
They have a Italian Mastiff. Technically two. They swap off on days, though. A male and a female. And then my friend who did my hair, she's got a Great Dane Mastiff mix that is also a shop dog and has been coming there since she was a pup. I didn't know about the big Mastiff in the back. I knew about the puppy when she was still a puppy. I think the dog's a little over a year old now. But when she was still a puppy, I went and got my hair done there. And as soon as I walked in, I heard the big dog bark from the back. And I was like, who is back there? He sounds lovely. And I got to see him. He was ginormous. Solid black dog. Looked terrifying. But he was great. He was so great. And it was literally just a salon filled with women and giant dogs. Like, that's just it. And the salon's not huge. And, like, it's a full shop. Like, there's 4 chairs out front. There's, like, 4 solo kind of room suites that have, like, 2 chairs apiece in them. But it's very close-knit. And so you just walk into this very white, very pretty aesthetic. And then there's just giant black dogs everywhere.
I know different shops that have, like, they've got Pitbull mixed breeds. They've got, there are Great Danes that I know in shops. There are Frenchies. I mean, all sorts of sizes and shapes. I think they're all fun, personally.
Yes, agreed. I think every shop should have a shop dog. Some way, shape, or form.
Even if it's just part-time.
Yeah. Melissa's only a part-time employee.
Anything else we can think of?
Mm-mm.
We'll talk to you next week.
Have a wonderful night.
Good night.